Hi, everybody. This is Virginia Milner coming to you with another tutorial for the DeKalb County Library System. And I want to show you something a little bit, I'm waving my wire around. I wanted to show you something a little bit different. I want to show you, I've shown you how to make some ear wires before, and I want to show you how to make a couple of different ear wires. One's an ear post and one's an ear wire, and all in one wire ear wire. It looks like this, but instead of the traditional way that you do it is to shape your wire and then wrap another piece of wire around the stem. But I'm going to show you how to do that with all one wire and one step. Well, not one step, but with one wire. And I'm also going to show you how to make a ear post, the kind that just kind of fits against your ear. If you don't want a wire hanging really low and then the earrings hanging low, this will just fit right against your ear, and then you can put whatever little beads on there that you want. So I want to show you that because I thought that would be a lot of fun. I'm always trying to find different ways to do to kind of turn traditional things on their head. And so that's what we're going to do today. Let's get started. We have some things to do. Oh, I don't know when I'm going to stop doing that. I get in a rush, in a hurry, and then I mess up. But anyway, that's who we're doing these videos for. So that's a plus. I'll just pretend like I did that on purpose. So the things that you're going to need for this video are your traditional pliers, round, square, and cutters. Okay, you're going to need some kind of a cylindrical item to shape your ear wire. And you don't need anything special. You can use the handle of one of your pliers or an ink pen. It's entirely up to you. You don't need any special anything in order to shape your ear wire. But the first one I'm going to show you how to do is like this. This little guy. Kind of done some hooks, some clasps like this. And this really makes a pretty ear hook too. See in the back? There's my little post, goes in my ear, and then you can dangle something from the bottom. So let's start with that one. And for that one, I need 4.5 to 5 inches of wire. I'm using 4.5 because I don't want it to be too big and overpowering on my earlobe. And I'm probably going to cut some of that off anyway. So I'm going to give myself 4.5 inches of wire, 20 gauge. We're going to be using 20 gauge throughout this project for both of these ear wires. So I'm going to take my pliers and I'm just going to bend my wire at about 3/8 of an inch. Doesn't have to be too long because this is going to be your ear post, and the post shouldn't be too long. So I'm going to bend that back until it's at a right angle to the longer wire. Then I'm going to take a bead, just a small bead. It can be, I'm using a 4 millimeter. I'm going to put that on the post like so. And then I'm going to wrap the long wire around the bead. Oops, get back up there. And starting it is probably the most challenging part of it. So I just want to start it on a curve. Start curving it around. That's the biggest challenge. Getting the curve going. And then my fingers are in the way, so I'm going to hold on to this with my pliers. Start wrapping that around the bead, like so. And once I get it started, it's a little easier. So now I'm going to start wrapping the wire around itself, making a spiral. To get it started. And once I get a little bit of a spiral going, then I can grasp it with my pliers on the side and continue my wrap. If you can hold it with your fingers, that's really good, because you don't want to hold it too tight, because I don't want to mar my wire. If you have something that's coated like this, that's a great thing to have. Otherwise, you just don't want to clamp down on it too tightly, because you don't want to get your wire. I'm going to bring this down a little bit closer so that it's a little easier to see. Wrap that around. And here's the top that's sticking out here. And I want this to go down on the opposite side on the bottom. So there's the top. And I want this to stop on the bottom. So I'm just wrapping it around about 3 times. So there we go. I'm going to clip this off. Give myself a good 1/2 inch or so from where it's wrapped. Now there we go. Snip that off. And now I'm going to make a loop that will end up right down here on the other side of my bead. And I'm off camera. So I'm going to make a loop that's going to end up right down here opposite my post. Take my round nose pliers, and I'm going to go back in the direction. Here's where I want my, goodness gracious, Virginia. Here's where I want my loop to end up. Here's my post. My loop should be down here. Post, loop. All right, so let's make my loop. I'm just going to go about 1/3 of the way down my pliers, grab my wire, and just rotate until I have a closed loop. So there's where my stem is. I'm going to shift that over just a little bit so it's right underneath. So there we go. There's my post. Ta-da. Neat, huh? Now all I have to do is dangle a bead from the bottom. So let's do that. And all you really need for this is going to be a very, very simple one. I'm just going to take a nice bead cap. I don't need a bead cap. I could just go ahead and use my pin and put it in my bead, but I want a little bit of embellishment. So I'm going to put a bead cap on the bottom and then slide my bead on. I very rarely use bead caps because I do a lot of the wrapping. So the wrapping gives me a cap instead of using a pre-formed one. Here's another bead cap. I'm putting that on top. So now that's nicely enclosed. Isn't that cute? That is very cute. I like it. So now I need to just make a simple loop. So I'm going to cut my wire and just give myself about 3/8 to 1/2 inch of wire, depending on how big you want your loop to be. And it doesn't have to be very large. So I'm going to give myself the 3/8 of an inch. Snip that off. I'm holding on to this tail so that it doesn't go flying across the room. Here we go. Put that out of my way. And I'm going to make my loop. Just take my round nose pliers, grab the tip of my wire, sliding that wire down about 1/3 of the way down my pliers because I don't need that big a loop. And I'm going to just start to rotate until I have a loop. And now see how it's kind of leaning over to the side. Just take my pliers again, just poke the tip of it into my loop and rotate back until my loop is straight on top of my bead. So there we have it, a nice simple loop. Now see, there's a little bit of space in between here, not really making a big difference, but if I wanted to get rid of that, I can just make my loop a little bit bigger, open it up a little bit, slide it down further down on my pliers, and close it back up again. So it just takes up a little more space on my stem and leaves me a nice clean loop. So there we go. And let's attach it. So all I need to do is take my pliers, open my loop off to the side, just kind of flip it up, slide my bead on, close it, and there we go. Nice little earring. So simple. Isn't that neat? I love it. So simple, so easy, and so pretty. And now the other thing that you can do, I'm looking for my little backing. Here we go. I've done a couple of these, huh? Before you wear this, take your clippers and just score the back where your post is. And by scoring that, I mean just putting a little indentation in, just a little bit away from the tip, You just want to kind of cut into it a little bit all the way around the stem. And that just puts a little indentation in it so that when you put your backing on, it'll have something to catch on and it won't slide off easily. So there we have it. Before you wear it, remember to take a nail file or just an emery board and just round out these edges a little bit. Just kind of round it out so that it's not sharp and so that it's comfortable to wear. So there's my ear wire or my ear post. Rests right in my ear with a little dangle on the end. That's for people that don't want something that's huge. They just want a little something. Turning it so that you can see it the other direction. So that it's not upside down. There we go. Yeah. Neat, huh? Okay. Let's move on to the next one. So the next one is going to be an all-in-one ear wire. So I have about 5.5 inches of wire here. 20 gauge again, that's what we're using today. And what we need is, for this part of it, is about 3 inches of wire. So we're going to measure down, find 3 inches. You can give yourself 3.5 if you want, because the other part of it, this part of it, you only need about 1.75 yards, 2 at the most, depending on how long you want your stem to be. I have 5.5 inches here. So I'm going to give myself 3.5, just so I have some extra wrapping room. Or 3.25. That's good. I'll give myself 3.25 inches of wire, and then I'm going to bend the wire back. Like so. It doesn't have to be a complete right angle. I just need a little indentation in there. So then I'm going to take my long wire. I'm going to grab my round nose pliers, and I'm going to slide my pliers down, or my wire down my pliers. Again, about 1/3 of the way down my pliers. And I'm going to make a loop. And I'm going to go wrap around in the direction of the shorter wire. So I'm going to make a wrap all the way around until my wire is flat on top of my pliers. No further than that. Then I'm going to open my pliers, rotate them down, and then bring that loop all the way around until again I've got like an L shape here. So there we go. And I'm going to take this longer wire and I'm going to wrap it around the stem of the shorter wire. Wrap my pliers, hold on to my loop, and wrap. I want to make sure that it's nice and straight. And I'm holding this a long distance away so that you can see what I'm doing. But I think it's easier if you're right up there against the wire so that you can direct it better. That is a choice that I make. If you feel more comfortable using the end of the wire to wrap it around, that of course is up to you. And every once in a while I check to make sure my wires are nice and straight, and then I keep going. Just keep wrapping around that stem. And clip it with the pliers, make sure it's straight. And you just wrap it as many times as you want your stem to be long. I like mine about 3/8 of an inch. That's about it. This one is longer. Yeah, that's about 3/8 of an inch. Yeah. And you can measure it if you're more comfortable keeping track of how much space you have. I'm almost at 3/8. Which is good because I'm almost out of wire. And remember, I had about 3 1/4 inches. It's good to measure because that way, well, when you do the second one, you can just measure that one against the first one. I flip hands. I know some people use one hand to do everything, but I'm a little bit ambidextrous in that respect. So that's good. That comes in handy when I'm teaching too, because everybody's not right-handed. I personally am left-handed for a lot of things, but I also utilize my right hand a lot. I think that looks like as long as I want it to be. That looks pretty good. Nice and straight. Now I want this tail to end up underneath the loop so that it doesn't bother me when I wear it. So what I'm going to do is cut it off right here so it'll end up underneath. I don't want it on the sides or anything like that because that will catch on my skin. So I'm going to clip this off. I want this smooth side to be right up against the wire. Clip it. Okay. And then I'm going to push that end down. As close to the wire as I can get. There we go. Very nice. And then I'm going to bend this long tail back, this long stem back. And here's the opening of my loop. I'm going to bend it back like so. And now I'm going to make my ear wire, the part that goes through my ears. Now again, you can use the handle of your pliers, you can use an ink pen, it's up to you, but I just want to bend it right there at the base or at the top of my wire wrap. Put it on the cylinder, whatever cylindrical item I'm going to use, and then just wrap that tail over the top of that item to get the shape of my ear wire. Take it off. Make my adjustments. And then I just take my finger and curve it. Until I have the shape that I want. Just a nice, delicate curve. And then I want to clip this end off. And I like to clip it right there just above the ring and below the wrap. That's about as long as I want it to be. So just clip that off. Yeah. And there is my ear wire. I also like to take the tip of my pliers, it can be your round nose or your flat nose pliers, and just give it a little ledge there. Just a little tiny one. There we go. Just like that. There's my ear wire. One wire to wrap the whole thing. And it's the beaut. Push that down a little bit more. There we go. There's my ear wire. Easy as pie. Now, of course, the difference between this kind of ear wire and the standard ear wire that has the opening down here is that it doesn't have an opening. It's completely closed. So you need, when you make something to go on your ear wire, it needs to have its own opening so that you can use that to open up and put on your ear wire. I'm going to utilize some more of my lovely bead caps. Nice little head pin. Slide on one of these pretty caps and a bead and another cap. Isn't that neat? So pretty. Cut this down to about 3/8 of an inch and I'm just eyeballing it. Snip it off. I need to hold on to that tail and my bead so that nothing goes flying across the rim. There we go. Get rid of that. And I'm going to make a loop. First time I showed you how to make your loop and then bend it back. This time I'm going to bend it back and then make my loop. So I just bend it back so that it's kind of out to the side. Slide my wire down my pliers about 1/3 of the way. Rotate, open, rotate back, clamp, rotate, open, rotate back, clamp, and keep rotating until I have a nice loop. There we go. And if I need to, if I want to rotate it back a little bit more so that it's a little more upright, just put the tip of my pliers in and make that adjustment. And so there I have a nice simple loop, simple looped bead. Easy as pie. And then I'll use this one. I'll open this one up on the side, string it on my ear wire, and close. Or if you want more length, you can use a jump ring. Either of those things works just fine. And there is my earring. Simple, simple, easy, easy. What could be easier than that? So there we have it. There are our earrings with our very own custom-made ear wires. If I can get that one to lay the way I want it. Doesn't want to because the post is in the way. Sorry about that. Oh, I know. Put it over there. See if that works. There we go. Sort of, kind of, sort of. But there we go. There are our earrings. Our own posts that we made ourselves. I'm psyched. I like doing, excuse me, I don't know what's going wrong with my voice. I like doing new things. It's fun. There we go. Nice, neat, and tidy. Yeah. What could be easier than this? And if you get kits, you're going to have several beads that you can use to make your earrings, and you can just have a field day. Now, think about something. Say you wanted this one, but you wanted it longer, or this one, and you wanted it longer. Then you could go ahead and take another piece of wire, and let me see, do I have another little bead running around here somewhere? Oh, I think I can find something. Yeah, there we go. And you can take an eye pin or a head pin or an eye pin or just some regular wrapping wire. Get one of these guys. And you can do another dangle. Let's do that. Just a very simple thing. So I'm just going to take about 1.5 inches or so of wire, make a little head pin. It's the standard loop, like so. Plug my pliers in there in the tip, pull it back so that it's nice and upright. Slide my bead on. I really did not need this much wire, did I? Cut that down to about 3/8 of an inch. Bend that back and make another little loop. Here we go. Yeah. And just attach that to one of these. Let's do it. Attach it to this one. Just open that up. Attach this little guy in here. Close it. And open the other side. And attach it to my ear wire. And close. And there we go. I have an even longer earring. Isn't that cool? Love it. And you can do the same thing on the other one too. Just add more dangles. Pretty. So that is our show for the day. Actually, I should put another one on. Do you want me to put another one on this one to match this bead? That might be kind of pretty. See if I can find one. Here we go. Let's see. Let's find another black bead. Here we go. Yeah. Nope, that's blue. Going blind in my old age. There we go. Yeah, that's faceted. Oh, not faceted, but it's got some treatment on it. It's a flat black one. There we go. Yes. I'm just playing around now. Actually, this little extra piece that I had is going to be enough for this. I am pretty sure. Make my little loop. Slide it down about 1/3 of the way down my pliers. Make my loop. Just like we did all the other times. Just rotate, open, clamp, rotate till I have a full circle. It's off to the side, so I'm going to take my pliers and take the tip of my pliers and go into the loop and bend it back until it's there we go. So now it's upright on top of my stem. Slide my bead in Yeah, this is about 1.25 inches of wire to accommodate this little bead, and I still have more than I need. Cut it down to about 1/2 inch, 3/8 of an inch. Again, snip, bend it back. Not quite, but almost a right angle. Again, take my pliers, slide my wire down about 1/3 of the way down my pliers, and make my loops. Just rotate until I have a loop. Let's take this one off here. Open this up. Nice and easy. Open up this one loop, attach it to my crackle bead, close it up, open the, oh, this one's open. Slide that on, close it up. And so now my little dainty ear wire is a little longer. It's just got a little bit longer dangle. What do you think? I like it. I think it's very pretty. Yes. Nice, nice, nice. I think we've done it today, ladies and gentlemen. I think we've done it. I like that one. That's really pretty. So simple. It'll go with anything and everything. Okay, that's it. I could sit here and look at these forever and just pontificate over them, but I think we're finished. I think it's been very successful and very easy. Just showed you an easy way to make some really, really nice earrings that don't take forever to do, and they look like they did. Okay, that's it. That's it. That's it. Okay, just to give you an idea of what they look like, there's a one with our nice single wire ear wire. And there's the other one with our spiral ear post. Just wanted to give you a little visual. I tried it with the other camera and it was so far away that I wasn't sure that you would be able to see it. So that is our show for the day. Yay. Yay. That's our tutorial for the day. I hope you liked it. I had fun doing it. I really, really, really like this. I like having the all-in-one wire, but I know that some people would prefer to have the opening on the bottom so that you can wrap in case you want to do an actual wrapped bead. But if you're doing a simple loop, then you don't need 2 loops. You don't need 2 openings. You can just do this all-in-one ear wire, and that takes care of it. And then you don't have to worry about using 2 pieces of wire and wrapping one on the other and all of that. And it cuts down also on the little ends, the little end sticky end pieces that you might have to deal with later. So anyway, that's it. I just sort of like having fun with different traditionals and turning it into something else. And in case you've never seen any of my videos and don't know that that's something that I love to do, that's it for today. That's our tutorial for the day. That's probably the easiest pair of earrings I've made because I'm so used to wrapping everything and putting all kinds of designs on it. But this was fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know one way or the other if this is something that you liked and would like to see more of. But I hope that I'll see more of you, or actually you'll see more of me. And until you do, have a good week, have a great weekend, Stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.